Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons that Denmark is not the country for you. So without wasting any time, let's get to it. 1. Denmark is one of the highest tax paying nation. A normal Danish person spends almost like a 50% of its income into the taxes because there's income tax, and on top of that there's various other taxes that you have to pay in Denmark. So if you're someone who is coming to Denmark and thinking, okay, I will be rich because I'm getting so much salary. Of course, their taxes are very high, but salaries are very high too. So if you're someone getting very nice salary and thinking that I will be rich in few years, so you might find it very difficult because the standard of living is very high, taxes are high, and then you would not notice where the money was going. So that also totally depends upon how is your lifestyle. If you are like very social, you spend so much money on different things, going out, restaurant, spending money in the bars and stuff, that totally that matters from person to person. But the taxes are very high in Denmark. The cost of living is very high in Denmark. So if you're planning on thinking that you would get rich in Denmark, it is an impossible task for a non-European. But of course, if you pay this much money, that you also get some benefits from government, like free education and free healthcare and a lot of other things. The reason number 2 is weather. So Denmark is considered very cold. Let's be honest, it's not that cold, but the days are very short and the nights are long. And in the winter, probably 6 months, you forget about going out so much, and you'll have to wear jackets, hats, and your scarf all the time. From actually late September to March, because it's very cold and not that cold, but the weather is as such. It feels so cold because it's raining. On top of that, it's windy, and yeah, it's all the combination of all the other things, like the weather wise. So Denmark, you will not find a lot of sun. So if you're someone coming from warm country, for example India or other country where there's a lot of sun and not a lot of winter time is okay, 22 degrees. Denmark is not the right place for you if you're not like living in such place, because it gets so dark in the winter. Almost like 3 o'clock it gets dark, and sun comes up sometimes 8 o'clock in the morning, and it will not come every day. You will not see the sun many days. Depends upon the weather, but it's very hard to find sun in the winter time. So also you have to be very careful of you don't get a depression, because a lot of people suffer from this winter depression here in Denmark, especially if you're coming from a country where there's a lot of sun. So yeah, who think you can live up to this, then it's fine, then it's the country you should come and work. But also, if you are someone who likes to do a lot of outdoor activities, you should forget about those for next 6 months, because it's the weather is such that you will not find those activities to be happen outside. Yeah, of course you can play football and stuff and here and there, but it's very cold, and especially being a non-European and coming from a country where there's a lot of sun and nice weather, you will find it difficult, because Danish kids, they spend a lot of time outside since they're kids, and they're used to this weather, and then they don't mind, and they're fine going out in that weather. So, but for people like us, we find it very difficult. So, especially if you're coming from a warm country. The reason number 3 is it's very hard to make friends. Let's be honest. If you're coming to Denmark as a student or as a worker, you need to make some friends. You need to socialize. Otherwise, it gets very lonely and depressing. So you have to make an effort. So if you have to make friends with Danish people, you have to show some that you care, because it's very hard to make friends with them. They have their circle, which is already very small, and then if you have to be a part of that, you have to work really hard, put a lot of effort into it. So yeah, so if you're someone who's not good at socializing with other people or going out, try changing those habits. Try talking to strangers and stuff, so you get used to that, because you'll find it very difficult if you don't have so many friends here in Denmark. Of course, you don't have to be necessarily be friends with Danish people. There's a lot of international people here. Also, you'll also find people from your own country. So that's totally up to you, how you approach people, and if you are like extrovert or introvert. So do work on these skills if you're coming to Denmark. Try to be a little bit of outgoing or socializing with people. Otherwise, you'll find it very difficult. You have to be independent. So if you are someone who doesn't like to do their chores or doesn't like to cook, you're going to find it very difficult to live in Denmark, because especially if you are coming here to study, you might share an accommodation with someone, or you live in a hostel where you will have to do your laundry, you'll have to do your taxes, you'll have to pay your own bills, you'll have to cook your own food because mom is not here to cook for you, and you will really miss the food. Really, I'm not kidding. And you really need to work on those things. You have to be more independent in that manner, because if you're living, especially if you're living with other people from other countries, everyone gets the task distributed, and then you have your own things. Another thing is, like, you have to take control of your financial situation, because Denmark is very expensive, and you will not know where the money is going, so you will not realize it. If you're someone who likes to go out a lot and very socialized with people, you will spend a lot of money. So you have to take control of that situation and your financial situation, and be more independent in that way to do all those things and work on yourself. So the reason number five is that you're not ready to integrate. So if you're someone coming to Denmark only for a few years, you think you have a short-term plan just to work 2 years and go home, then it's okay. But if you're someone coming to Denmark to study, or have longer plans to stay here and work, you need to integrate yourself into the Danish system. You can do that by socializing with Danes and other internationals, and also learning the language, which is the most important part of integration. Because if you are planning to apply for PR or citizenship, you need to have language skills. You need to have that certificate or the test. So you have to really work on, not only for that, but also to have a nice social life here in Denmark. You have to understand what they're talking about, or what, if you can understand, so you have to understand what they're talking about in different places or events that you go to. So it makes it so much easier. Your life will be so much easier if you know the language. So you should actually spend time on learning Danish. It is difficult, but it can be done. I have done it. A lot of international people are doing it and has done it. So it's not impossible. But yeah, you have to be mindful that the language requirement is necessary in Denmark when you come to study or work. So another thing that you can do to integrate yourself into the Danish system is, like, be appreciative of Danish things. People like it when you talk about Danish things, like their food, their culture, and the way things are here in Denmark. So get to know those things, little bit things, and appreciate join them into their traditions and food and whatever socializing they do at the events. Then you might find it very easier to integrate yourself. So those were my top 5 reasons that Denmark is not for you if you're coming to Denmark. So please work on those things I just mentioned, and you should be so much better here in Denmark. You will not find it difficult to integrate yourself here in Denmark. So yeah, if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and let me know into the comment section your thoughts about Denmark and coming to Denmark. So I would really love to hear your opinions. Yeah, and thank you for now. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.